So earlier today, Misfits Boxing announced that Darren Till will be fighting Luke Rockhold in the main event on August 30th in Manchester, England. And unfortunately, Tony Ferguson will be fighting Salt Papi in the co-main event for the interim middleweight Misfits title. Truthfully, I can't even believe that I'm saying those words out loud. It crushes my soul that Tony Ferguson is going to box Salt Papi next month. And if we're being honest, he's going to get knocked out virally by Salt Papi. I wish so badly that wasn't the truth, man. Really. Kids are going to see Salt Papi flatline Tony and think that these influencer boxers are better than a 30 UFC fight veteran and legends like Tony. If only they could have seen Tony in his prime 6 or 7 years ago on his 12-fight win streak, destroying Pettis, Cerrone, when he beat Kevin Lee for their interim lightweight title, Darcy Edson Barboza, everything that was a part of his legendary 12-fight win streak. The kids these days will never know about Khabib versus Tony getting canceled 6 times in a row and him tripping over the cord and tearing his ACL. It feels like just yesterday Tony Ferguson was one of the best fighters on the planet. Salt Papi's 31 years old in his athletic prime, and Tony's 41, and he's basically 50 years old with all the fights that he's been through and all the damage that he's taken. It's not like he was the most slick guy out there like Anderson Silva or something, where you haven't taken a bunch of damage. Tony's chin was one of his best attributes, which means he took a ton of punishment to the brain throughout his whole career. And we already know about his history with hearing people in the walls and the police and everything, and I can't even get into that. And, that was 10 years ago. Man, somebody save Tony. Please save him from more CTE, man. As you can see, we've seen Salt Papi get multiple knockouts in the ring before, pretty brutally too. He's not an easy fight, although even Tony has way more experience. Age matters the most out of any factor, and so does damage taken, and Tony's on the wrong side of both of those, man. We've already been through so much with Tony's 8-fight losing streak that he still hasn't snapped. I remember screaming probably the loudest I ever had during a UFC fight when Michael Chandler front kicked Tony in the chin and flatlined him out cold, face first on the canvas. I don't think I'll be able to stomach Salt Papi doing that to him again, man. But I guess when you've got to make money and this is your only way of doing that, he's doing what he's got to do, I guess. I just can't believe that it's come to this point, I wonder what Khabib would say, man. From being scheduled to fight one of the best in the world, some would even say the GOAT, 6 times and seen as Khabib's biggest test at one point, to now fighting Salt Papi in a fucking Misfits influencer boxing card. The fight game's the most brutal, and Father Time always wins, man. Don't get me wrong, I hope Tony beats Salt Papi, of course. I think we all do. I just don't see that happening. Till versus Rockhold should be a good fight. I'd still think Till would win that because he only ever throws a left hand, so he may as well be boxing instead of being in the UFC. I don't mind that fight happening at all because at least Rockhold and Till have won some fights in the past couple years, but I'm just trying to get my mind off Tony getting absolutely flattened and then Tik Tok danced on by Salt Papi, which is probably the most likely outcome. Somebody should reach out to Tony and give him a few $100,000 so he doesn't have to do this, but I don't even think then Tony would listen to anybody. I can't imagine how hard it is to go from being on the tippy top of the best fighters on the planet and take one of the worst beatings in UFC history from Gaethje and just spiral down completely from there. I'm probably just going to go cry in a corner when the bell rings and Tony and Salt Papi are in the ring. I actually want him to be able to watch it, dude. We're close to 50 subs, boys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you later. Rest in peace, Tony Ferguson.